But the Trump effect is playing out here in Australia. But of course, it's not the Trump effect here. It was basically the Voice effect. I said earlier on Sharry's program tonight, the greatest thing that Anthony Albanese ever did for this country was setting up the Voice to fail, because by the Voice failing, it gave us, the ordinary Australians, a voice to say what we actually think, the things we've been thinking for so long about the direction of this country, especially when it comes to things like Indigenous affairs, that we don't want to be welcome to our own country anymore, that we are actually happy to celebrate Australia Day. And new polling from the IPA has found that people are more ready now to say that they support Australia Day. Their poll last year, and they've been doing this poll for years about how many people support Australia Day being on January the 26th. Last year, it was 63% of respondents said it should be on January 26th. This year, it's 69%. Now, I suspect that there are a lot of people who've been sitting on the fence for a while because they feel like they can't say what they actually think because, you know, in polite company, when I go to my dinner parties in Woollahra or Balmain or somewhere, and I can slag Balmain now because I live there amongst all the inner west lefties in Sydney, but I couldn't possibly... look, you know, maybe we should change it from January 26th. Now they're like, nope, don't have to hide this anymore. I do actually support Australia Day, and thank God for that. 2024, I think, was the year that woke started to die in this country. Thank heavens, and we're starting to see the results of that, including the opposition leader Peter Dutton saying that if he were to become Prime Minister later this year, he would enforce councils holding citizenship ceremonies on Australia Day, which, of course, as we know, they have been cancelling.
Would we reinstate the requirement for councils to hold citizenship ceremonies on Australia Day? You bet. It'll be done in the first 100 days, and it will be a sign of pride and nationalism in our country. I want us as a population to be united.
Now, I don't know, that might have been a bit of policy on the run there, because if you look at Michaelia Cash, after he said it, she sort of turns. She's like,
that's a good idea.
I like that one. That's good. I don't care if it's policy on the run, because it's just common sense. And we're starting to see a return of common sense. People say, no, I don't have to hide the fact I like Australia Day anymore. And it was the same last year, of course, when Woolies said that they weren't going to stock Australia Day gear. And it felt like a real turning point where, after years and years and years of being beaten over the head and told, oh, you can't support Australia Day on January 26, people just sort of unashamedly came out and said, actually, no, we do like Australia Day. And I reckon last year Australia Day had a real reinvigoration.
I think we owe, you know, Woolworths a vote of thanks. I think we owe some of our elites, like Ray Martin, who famously said, if you don't vote for the Voice, you're a dickhead. We owe Ray Martin a great vote of thanks. Those people for support for Australia Day to rise 6% in 12 months. I mean, I think those guys should just keep on going, keep slagging off about colonialism, keep hating on Australia, and watch support for Australia Day go up and up, because people have had a gutful of it. And we've seen these pro-Palestinian protests every weekend in our streets, and people are literally watching our country fall apart before their eyes. And people are saying, we want to get back to the things that unify and unite us. When I was a kid, maybe not when you're a kid, because that was much more recent, but Liz, you're a bit older than Caleb, not quite as old as me. Australia Day, you'd go to the beach and you'd wave your Australian flag. No one was protesting. No one was going on about it. No one was toppling statues. It was a much better time. And I think people want to get back to those times where we just all were Australian. We all enjoyed it and we're all proud of it.